Hello out there in YouTube land! It's me, Andrew from Complete Street. Nobody's joined us yet, so I'm gonna try to calm down. Whew, it's tough. I've been practicing. It's breathe in, breathe out. Am I calm yet? Not exactly. Okay, so we are at the shop, and still, we got one person on. Oh man, killing it. I know that I'm coming to you a little bit early on Friday. The truth is, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. I don't know anything anymore. Like, I don't know about you guys, but it's been a wild ride. Ooh, let me turn this chat thing on all chat. What is up? So, where's everybody joining from? Holy shit, I'm all white. Not white. Wait, oh my god, I'm whiter. I don't think I'm that white in real life. Okay, so we got a couple of you guys here. We are dynoing the 427. I'm not going to dyno anymore. I'm just going to share numbers live with you guys. I didn't press this thing. We actually ran this on lower boost because I wanted to run on pump gas before pressing the hell out of this. But I wanted to get a good feel, and I did find an issue. And you know what? Before I tell you this issue, I need a beer. Is anybody drinking yet? Oh my gosh, the freezer was left open. That's not good. Is anybody drinking yet? Because if you are not drinking, grab yourself a beer. Unless you're working, then don't. Uh-oh, hold on a second. Oh. No! Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, this is not working. I need two hands for this. Woo! All right. So, I rarely drink at the shop, and it's mostly because I'm working usually getting in customers' cars and all that stuff. So, just as a disclaimer, this is after hours, and that is my car, and I'm not driving any customer cars now. It's just, we're done for the day. And so I'm going to enjoy myself and cool down with a, I don't know, Indian Pale Ale. Anyway, so back on track here. I wanted to share with you guys what's going on with the Tree L1. So the Tree L1, for those of you who have been paying attention, has 427 in it now with the bigger boy camshaft. It is a big step up, well, a smidge step up from our big boy camshaft. It's like the next level, something that if I was going to put it in any car, it would only be a manual transmission with the factory cubes. But because it's a 427, it seems to work on the factory transmission just fine. So it's really, really nice. In my street tuning, just like to get ready for it, I put on the Magnuson, I think this is an 80 mil. Does that say 80? Yeah, that says 80 on it. So that's the 80 millimeter, and I had a 70 on it. But I didn't have enough room to run the 70 millimeter without meth injection, and I just wanted to run this thing without meth injection at all. So I just wanted 93 octane numbers. And at 12 degrees of timing, oh man, I want to hide the other numbers. Hang on a sec. Before I show you guys, close all of this. At 12 degrees of timing, we got this. 757 rear wheel horsepower and 699, oh my god, shut up! And 699 foot-pounds of torque, and this was limiting the throttle body to 70% until 5,200-ish RPMs, and then the throttle body started fluttering up top because, you know, nothing's ever perfect. And after 4 degrees of timing, and somehow the throttle body, you know, working and not working, we are now up to 853 rear wheel horsepower and 807 foot-pounds of torque. And that's at the same air-fuel ratio. It's running awesome. And there's probably a bit more room to go, but and this is just pump gas. So I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, and for those of you saying that I'm drinking alone, I'm not. I'm drinking with you guys. When my wife sees this, she's going to be pissed. But we'll find out if she even pays attention to the channel. So I figured, you know, it's Friday. Let's talk. What do you guys have going on? You guys want to ask me any questions, you know, about like how the shop's doing, or you know what we're working on, stuff like that? Or do you just want to, you know, drink with me, tell me about your life story, shout outs? I know there's only 29 of you on here, but I feel bad because I haven't posted anything recently. And I have some good videos to post. I've just been, it's been more on hands. I've been more on hands at home and spending more time with the wife at night, trying to help out. So I just haven't had much time to do much anything. Let's see. How do you tune Meth on a positive displacement blower, MAF curve or PE? Well, sometimes it's both. It depends on the power. I like to do it PE because then I can always go back. I can, like if I do it with the power enrichment table, I can I can tune it without Meth first. So I'll tune it commanding, let's say, an 11.5 air-fuel ratio. And that'll be your power enrichment. You'll be a 1.278. That's what the adder will be, so 27.8%. And what I like to do then is when it's spraying Meth, I like to pull it out based on PE. It seems to be most effective with the boost controlled power enrichment based on some of the aftermarket operating systems from HP tuners, where you can really dial it in pretty sweet. But I like to do it that way. But sometimes you can't take enough fuel out of the power enrichment table, because once you get to 1 or under 1 or whatever the open loop limiter is, you it won't go below that. So you can't do 0.9. You can only do 1.001 is what I like to set the bottom of my limit at there. Then I'll take the rest out of MAF. That's important if you're tuning an automatic car, that you make sure the torque tables line up, because if you're adding, say, 200 horsepower worth of fuel with Meth injection, but the car is only seeing the fuel that it's spraying, it might be trying to shift with 200 horsepower torque less than it should be, and you'll burn up a transmission pretty easy. So Meth is kind of dangerous if you don't know what you're doing and how to tune it properly. So that was a good question. Let's see, where's the Freedom Rocket? Freedom Rocket is in the other shop. I think the manifold will be back and on shortly. And then 5th Gen Racer, thank you for supporting the shop. Let us know if you have any trouble. When my car going to dealer to hopefully get fixed, I have good faith you guys will get her done, and I want to burn rubber. Hey Tim, I'll talk to you privately, but yes, I think that we're going to be kicking ass soon. Somebody's got a test and tune tonight in Atlanta. That's awesome. Have fun. I missed the track, but I mean that's kind of the reason why I'm putting this together. I want to get some shakedown passes before we go way too far. And I mean, this is my race car. The C8's not going to do anything special at the track stock. Was the first time you heard about the C8 Corvette before you bought the Corvette? I heard about it about a year and a half or so before it was released. So I ended up, I think it was 9 months before it was actually like produced that I had like put my money down on it. Let's see. So, anybody want to see anything special about the shop? I could go to the other unit, which I think I showed you guys in the previous. Now, for those of you who are following us, have I showed you guys in a previous video that the other shop's up and running and that the dyno is being used? Or did I not? Because I'll take you over there in a sec if I haven't. Or if you guys just want to see. I like to wait for your responses. Yes, I did show you, I guess. Oh, this beer is good. It's a hot day. It's 80-some degrees today. It hasn't been that way. And I've got my work flops on because it's 80-some degrees. And a beer is just what I needed, all by myself. Social isolation. Hi, Sal. Whatever. I'm going to show you guys the other shop. Okay, so I did go over the Trio 1, and let's see, 5th Gen Racer. I do not like the SLP loudmouth. I don't like stuff that's obscenely loud, so I'd probably go with the Borla. Oh my God, it's bright out here. Holy, I feel like I'm up. I'm in the shade too. Look at this. It's so bright that, oh, there we go. Hey! This PA's opening stuff up. Yeah, some spots are opening up. Can you fire up your car? Damn it. I've only gotten this far. Okay, I'm gonna fire up my car. I'll show you the shop first. That way I'll keep you waiting and wanting. Do 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 do. Do do do. I don't know where my key is. There it is. We have a pretty cool car on the dyno. Before I show you it, I'm going to just turn on the light so you can see it better. Uh-oh, I think I showed you guys by accident. Uh-oh. Do 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 do. So we got it up and running, and do do do. All the lights are working, and there's my hand, and new dyno up and running. Now what we're going to be doing here is finishing like the wall a little bit. We're trying to decide on if we should put some Dynamat here for our neighbors, which there's this chance that we're going to get the next unit over. So we're kind of waiting on that before we spend thousands of dollars on Dynamat to like muffle the wall for them. But you know, here we are. Now this is from one of our friends over at Dare Automotive in Westchester. They did a pretty sick conversion on this this truck. Check it out. It's got an LS3 in it. Actually, I think it's a stroker motor. I think this is a stroker motor in this bad boy. Good old Chevy. Check that thing out. I think that's really cool. That's just like awesome sauce. And so we have our new dyno that is up and running. Got a kind of makeshift computer over here that got from Amazon for 200 some bucks, and it works well. I have to I think the dyno is still on, so I should turn that off. Yeah, that's definitely on. So Gonna hop on over yonder and turn that thing off for the weekend. And I'll be dynoing this thing first thing in the morning. We've been very busy, so I haven't had a lot of time to make videos, which is kind of why I'm doing this little live feed, because I like to make videos, but it takes time and effort and concentration, and I wanted to drink a beer instead, and I can do this and drink beer at the same time. Stupid ass YouTube didn't say this was live. Yeah, it is live. Let's see. Is PA opening stuff yet? Not where I'm at, but we're kind of okay. We're like considered essential, but we're still operating under like quarantine rules. Can I fire up my car? Yes, I'm gonna go fire up my car. I'm just a nerdy. I'm just nerdy and want to talk nerdy. Assuming your meth is based on math, would you still try to tune the meth with PE, or go strictly with the math curve? So if you're using that the math thing for, like, let's say the AEM, that's what I've been using on some of the newer ones. I would build it straight into the math. That seems to make the most sense. And you can see when it kicks on. I like to do it over a decent spread, so it doesn't like totally jack up the math curve, but that's what I like to do. Now, every tuner's different. Every tuner's going to do something different. And most of the time, the end justifies the means. But you don't want to do stupid shit. So it's a combo. And behind me is the Freedom Rocket, and on the floor is its giant turbo. We'll be getting back on this shortly, as soon as we get the manifold. It's lucky that the tracks aren't open, because, you know, it's taking some time. Oh my gosh, my screen's all black. Here we are. Is that locked? Okay, cool. Put the alarm on later. Let's see. Why doesn't Borla make a catless X-pipe for the C7 Corvette anymore? Who would you suggest for a C7 catless X-pipe? Corsa, I think, has one. Corsa's got a 3-inch, I believe. I would use that. I have a Borla. I definitely have a Borla somewhere, used. If you're interested, send me an email at andrew@cspracing.com. Happy birthday to the wife. Thank you. I'll let her know. How far out are you finishing the twin turbo in the C8? Oh, I have an update for the C8. I have a lot of updates. One, it's broke. It's broke. The C8 is broke. It has had an issue, and it is in for warranty work, which sucks. I'll tell you about it it's nothing mechanical, which means it's electrical. I'll tell you about it in an upcoming video, because it's, and that's why it's not here. Fun, right? I'll have it back shortly. And then, somebody wants to hear this bad boy run. Oh, it's in quiet mode. I can't take it out of quiet mode because when you're on the dyno, it defaults to tour mode, and so it's just sitting in quiet mode right now. But so that's quiet mode for you guys. I think it sounds pretty healthy. And it doesn't really stink that bad for being catless. It's just kind of nice. I got all my little switches here, so I have a switch here to turn off the coolant going to my my blower. This one turns the air onto the cabin, and that one turns meth on if I want to run meth, which I am not running meth right now. Turn off! So on the low boost here, it is making a little over 850 with jack shit for timing in it. Oscar, the mod list for the Trio 1 are the Magnuson 2650 with the Nick Williams 103, which seems to be having a little bit of an issue right now. Rotofab Big Gulp, this is, pretty huge here. It's got the Forced Inductions inner chiller, which we've got somewhere under there. And a couple little switches to turn coolant off going to the blower, so our CSP trunk tank, which I'll show you guys in a sec, can get as cold as possible. It's got Cook's headers for now. The CSP headers are going to be going on shortly. We found a little something with the Cook's headers that we didn't even notice before. We were like trying to get the plug wires. You can see how that plug wire is pretty close right there. We're trying to get the plug wire stuff better on ours, but we ended up getting another thing, better as well. Mighty Mouse catch can, Texas Speed ported LT4 heads, Texas Speed sleeve, 427 cubic inch monster block, and I think flex fuel and meth, but I'm just running pump and no meth right now. So I think oh, and one of our kind of we made a low side for it as well. It does not have any additional fueling besides that. Let's see. So 850 with a decent bit of room to go on just pump gas. We're gonna, raise the boost up in a little bit, and then in the trunk here, a baby car seat, and under this stuff, the CSP trunk tank, which is sweltering because the inner chiller is freezing. Even on 80-degree day, it gets really cold, which is freaking awesome. When we were down for the YouTube call out in North Carolina, it was 100 degrees and the coolant was 50 degrees. That was awesome sauce. Look at this. I haven't sweat like this in a long time. Let's see. Hi, Matt. What is your favorite Cadillac exhaust for the 6th gen? Honestly, I kind of like the stock. I'm gonna sneeze. Woo! Excuse me. My favorite Cadillac for the 6th gen. The stainless work sounds really good. I kind of like the Borla and the Flowmaster. It's not any, it's got to be a dual mode. It just has to be a dual mode. Alex said he'll drag that ass on wastegate. No, he won't. He won't. Alex's twin turbo Mustang is quite fast, but he's gonna have a lot of trouble with this one. A lot of trouble, and he knows it. He does make a good bit of power. Now, right now, we'd have a really good race. Him on E85 and me on pump gas. I would love to go back 2 days when it was 40 some. Recommend an underhood meth tank V2 CTS-V. For the meth on the CTS-V, honestly, I like to use the windshield washer reservoir and then add a windshield washer fluid tank. That way the car will tell you when you're low on meth. Otherwise, sometimes you kind of push through it and then you push your engine out the bottom of the car. It's no bueno. Meth is dangerous, which is one of the reasons why I'm tuning this without meth. I did it. I tuned it previously without meth, but then I raised the boost so damn high that I couldn't not run meth in full throttle. And I was trying to do this on the street a little bit, which definitely, on a 70 millimeter pulley, was too much. Let's see, how much did he make in the Mustang? Are y'all planning on doing any more Ford vehicles? We have a Mustang here right now with a Whipple. We are working on the Coyotes, the new Coyotes. We've been, you know, diving into that, but we're not really doing a lot of announcements on that because, you know, you don't want to start advertising too quickly when you've already established the business for something else and then possibly miss some stuff on a lot of cars. Like if you miss it on like one or two cars, and this is just, you know, my fear, which we haven't missed anything, but at this point that I know of, but my fear would be that if you miss it on a lot of cars, you'll damage the whole entire reputation. But if you miss it on one or two, you have the opportunity to rebuild that reputation or resolve it quickly. I could see a lot of shops definitely going out of business, especially right now, if you know, they start screwing up a lot of cars really, really fast. I mean, you can't recover from that. And I mean, I've stood behind, you know, a few things in my day, and because we screwed up, and we don't want to screw up, and sometimes this stuff happens. Sometimes it's, you know, somebody who had an off day. Like I had a guy put on rocker arms on the wrong the wrong valves. So you had an intake rocker on an exhaust valve and vice versa. And 6 months later, it dropped the valve into the engine, and yours truly was buying an engine, which really sucks. And you know, it's just sometimes you have to stand behind stuff, and if it's too much at a time, I mean, you almost don't have a choice, and that's how you go right out of business. So luckily we do a very good job of, you know, what we do, and we have very few callbacks, and I'm happy to do that, and I definitely don't want to hurt that reputation and hurt that, you know, good thing by screwing up on a platform that we really don't know. Oh, Oscar, oh, that's a good question. The funniest moment we had at the shop probably happened today, and I have a video coming up for it. It's going to be like the sickest thing that I found, but you'll see that soon. Definitely soon. How much did he make in the Mustang? Oh, I was reading the second part of your question. So he made either 830 or 870. This thing's sitting at 850 at the moment. But I think 2 more degrees of timing in it will probably put it at 880-ish, and that'll be good. I'm gonna probably bump the boost up another couple pounds. Right now it's running at 15 and a half pounds of boost on the 427. Probably gonna try to get it to 17, 18 pounds on pump gas, which that should put me, if the math is right, at 900 and change on pump. And that's pretty nasty. I got to run a buddy. Hold on, I got to run a buddy. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great weekend. See you, Tim. We'll talk soon. Ranma, thank you. I appreciate that. Funniest is gonna have the. Oh yeah, dude. Well, so Matt. The funniest, yes, Johnny sprayed his nuts with nitrous oxide, and he said that he had like bruises for like 2 weeks. Really, really funny. And then I got my tongue stuck to a nitrous bottle, got my tongue stuck to a car with an interchiller, and hurt my tongue on both times. We shot fireworks at Johnny. That was fun. Johnny's a good sport. I like Johnny. I like Johnny a lot. What else? But I mean, the funniest thing that we saw was definitely, you know, or one of the funniest things that I can think of happened today. Let's see. Anthony. I'm glad that you're happy with it. Javon, what the hell do you have that weird name for? Ranma. Yes, Javon. You're the only Javon I know, and I know that 300ZX. That thing, I think that came here afterwards too, because I believe that LOJ's employee bought it and then started parting it out. So that kind of sucks, but it was a fun car. Japanese. Johnny's sister. Yeah, she's not going to work here. Because she doesn't have what it takes, guys. Doesn't have what it takes. I hope she's watching. Actually, it would be awkward for Johnny to be working here with his sister. What? There's apps chiming in over live stream? That's not cool. Like, what apps? What's the build on the car? Which car? The Trail 1? The Trail 1 has a 427 cubic inch engine, inner chiller, and a couple other goodies. We have lots of stuff in here. Like you can see that we have this this Callaway. This is a true Callaway car. Came in making less horsepower than a factory ZL1. This is a Callaway ZL1, and it's making less horsepower than a factory ZL1. And clearing the fuel trims, trying to remove some of the extra fuel that it's been trying to put in, only yielded 599 horsepower, which is roughly at most 30, so it's 20 to 30 more than a factory ZL1, which is very disappointing. So we're going to remedy that by souping it up more. The blower, I think, is fine. It is an aftermarket blower that they put on and charge you $20,000, $25,000 extra for to make 30 more horsepower, something you could do with an intake. So I don't mean to throw Callaway under the bus, but you're ripping off customers. So if you see this, maybe reach out to me and I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. Oh boy, all the cars at the shop. Oh, there's a lot of cars at the shop. So that truck was a V6 and we're doing everything to it. And then it's going over to Qatar, I believe. And this thing is going to be a pretty fun monster. It's got a stage 2 inner chiller on it, Texas speed engine, a Whipple now. It is a V8 now with a 8-speed automatic. It's a 14, by the way. We got the 14 truck to be able to work with the 8-speed transmission. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited to see that thing, up and running. And soon, we're waiting on a drive shaft for it. Soon it'll be moving under its own power. Needs an axle. This is a build that is not complete yet. This is a, I think it's a cam build. And I don't know what that, oh, nope, that's a naturally aspirated 427 build. That should be pretty fun when it's done. Police car. Mustang, look at that. There's another Mustang here with the Whipple. V2. This thing is gonna get a couple goodies and out of here. Another V2. This thing's getting a full Monty. That thing's getting a Texas Speed 427. It's getting a super duper everything. It was, for the most part, stock with like welds on it, and it is going down the rabbit hole, and it's going to be something insane when we're done with it. Obviously, there's nothing on it right now, but it's going to keep on plugging and chugging, and it'll be something special shortly. We have been making good progress on this. We got a couple more parts. It's a slow process, especially because when we have to wait for something, this is kind of like our designated like put stuff in area, and then we have to clean it out before we get back on it. So it's been a slow process on the project car here, but it is a LS swap, and it's coming to the end shortly. At least I hope so. What is this? I don't know what this is. I don't recall. This might be a Magnuson. Needs a clutch, I think. I think this is is this? Let me see. I gotta see. Could be something else. This is a cam build. And yeah, this is a cam build that the Magnuson one already left. Okay. My car is on the dyno, We have a 5th gen here that came in with a little bit of a misfire, and turned out to be a plug. Fuel pump might be failing. This is. I don't know if you got. Did I tell you guys about that? I tell you guys about this one. Anyway, that one came in. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I don't know what happened. I really have no idea what happened. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I did that so I could walk around without, like, losing you guys. Anyway, so this car right here is the hell is happening to this thing? Oh yeah, came in with a little bit of misfire. It has I think the fuel pump is running out, and one of the spark plugs has started taking a dump, but it's running good again. But we got to figure out the misfiring. The ProCharge. This is a ProCharged 4th gen, which will be hitting the dyno very shortly, early next week. This thing is done, I think. Yeah, this thing's done. This is a Flex Fuel C7, just a Grand Sport, not a Z06. Picked up a good bit of power on Flex Fuel. It's making, I think, I want to say 470, 475, something like that. Somewhere around there. Good car. And then the other cars in the other shop, it's a little windy. I'm not going to walk down there. Uh-oh. Oh, there we are. So we have we got a bunch of other cars too. A lot of stuff for tuning, a lot of stuff for builds. We're just plugging and chugging. Luckily, we're busy, and so thank you guys for supporting us during this. It's it's nice to see that we're still rocking out, and I appreciate that you guys are still with us, especially those of you who aren't even like local to us and still support us by like purchasing from our online store and stuff like that. CSP Racing, shameless plug. It really helps to ensure that we're going to make it through this, and I really thank you. I'm sure that my guys thank you too, because we're we love doing what we do, and we're happy to continue doing that. And I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't do this anymore. I really have no idea. Like I think I would lose my mind. I'm like 99% sure I'd lose my mind. Done any tuning on the new C8 vets? They pick up good. So the C8 is not tunable just yet. There's a rumor going around that the computer is unlocked, but so far nothing. I've dynoed at 450 and a little blip to 455, but nothing, nothing, special. The car is a really wonderful car, factory. In fact, the car's so good that I hate saying it, but I don't really like my Camaro anymore. I mean, I don't like it, but it's not my favorite car anymore. And it's not my favorite car by a long shot now. It's so weird how much the C8 has, even though it's way less powerful. It's like half the horsepower. And, I don't know. It's crazy. The C8 is just that good, even with half the horsepower of my ZL1. It's crazy. I didn't think that was possible. I thought, wow, I'm gonna get in my ZL1 and just love every second of it, blah blah blah. And I'm in it, and I'm like, wow, I think the term is empty. I feel like it feels kind of empty. Like the C8 just feels so much more solid, I guess. I think that's how the only way I can describe it. Not to get all sad on you guys, and especially if you're watching for the Camaro content. Sorry. Not that I don't. So it's not that I don't like the ZL1. I really do like the ZL1. I like the Camaro a lot. I think that the Camaro is better than the Corvette, the C7 Corvette. But I think the C8 Corvette pretty much shits on everything else that I've ever owned. Yeah. I mean, it's just right on top of everything. It's insane how good it is. It's beyond hype. not being able to do rolling burnouts would suck. On what? You can do a rolling burnout on the C8. You can't do standing burnouts on the C8. That's the sucky part. But you most certainly can do rolling burnouts. All you got to do is turn off traction control, hold both paddles, immediately drops into neutral. No matter what you're doing. You could be like driving by a cute girl and just like 2 paddles, vroom, and then release them, and it will do a burnout, or it will go back into gear like if you're not trying to do a burnout. It's pretty nifty. And my C8 isn't here at the moment because it's at the dealership since it broke a little bit. Electrical issue, which will be resolved shortly. I'll tell you about that in an upcoming video. But yep. Do I do remote tuning? Well, it depends on the car. There's only select cars that will do remote tuning on. So Izzy, if you're interested, well, what kind of car you got? And Ripper 11, I don't think a line lock's going to help us that much. I think it'll throw some codes because the C8 is a brake by wire, so it's an electronic brake pedal, and it does things extremely dynamic. And I have a feeling that it could be a software update where you can install a line lock. I think that would be wonderful, but it is not implemented. I am pretty sure that if it doesn't see the fluid return, it will go into a limp mode as well. Kind of like the Camaros do. Remote tuning on, there's some fun. So we couldn't give certain things a shot. In terms of both of you guys, Neil and Swain, haven't heard from Izzy yet. What the heck, Izzy? We can definitely look at some of the remote tuning stuff for those. There are some stipulations. I'd advise you guys, and Izzy, I'd advise all of you to get in touch with me at andrew@cspracing.com, and then CC Alex@cspracing.com, because he will prod my ass when I don't see your email. Truth is, I get bombarded with emails from everything, and I miss a lot of emails. I'm horrible at seeing my emails, and that's what Alex is there for, is to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and he does a good job of doing that. And yeah, I know that I'm not perfect, and I needed that help, so that's why Alex is here. This beer was really good. It's nice having a little beer. It's so hot. So I'm going to start unstrapping my car, and then I'm going to get out of here, because it's time to leave and see the wife. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to pull some stuff up on the computer. I'm going to pull this thing up on the computer and see if I can plug in real quick and save some power. Let me see. Sorry, I'm putting you down like this. YouTubers. Live. I wonder if it's saying that if I can. Oh, it's live right now. Let's watch it. Get the views. Oh man, put it in the shop series. Save. Wait, how do I get to it? Ah, here we are. Was it going to say that we get another person when I join this thing? Oh my god, there's an ad. What the heck? Yes, the 2650 is installed. Okay, now stay. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start unstrapping this. You guys write your questions. I'll try to answer it. Somebody's here. Crap. I think I'm watching an ad on my channel for really a long time. Let's see. Huh. It's me, let me in. Drive around back, Matt. But don't come in because we made a policy. You just stand out of the door. I'm a fat fuck. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect this car from the dyno, and I will answer your questions. Any plans to lose the quarantine weight? None yet. No plans yet. So I don't know, can you guys hear me? Because my son asked me the other day, he was like, Daddy, you know how you're fat? I was like, yes. It hurt my feelings a little bit. Okay, so way easier to add more boost. Yeah. I should host a Zoom beer pong tournament. That's not a bad idea. But how do you like SWAT, or do we just like make a bounce illegal? Write it in the comments. Let's find out. That monster Mike! Mike! What we got? Shats 72. I I would do the Magnuson over the Whipple, but not the 2300. The 2300's like, meh. I think in terms of the Camaro and what you can do with it, or all the aftermarket blowers, I would rate it, Magnuson is number one, pretty much by far. And then I think the Whipple is going to be number two, and then the Edelbrock. Now the Edelbrock I feel like can make more power than the Whipple because it uses the 2650 stuff. But the Edelbrock doesn't have as good of cooling as the Whipple, and I rate cooling pretty high up there. And then after that, I do the Magnuson 2300. So I think that's the Magnuson seems to get it right for most of it, except there's no room for port injection if you need port injection. So there are other options, but there's benefits to all that. Now, if you're looking at something else besides a PD blower, like a Pro Charger or something, there's your Pro Charger kits and your A&A kits with like the Vortec blowers and stuff, and they're all very good and capable. But my favorite is the Magnuson 2650. I mean, I put it on my car for a reason, and I'm like my 850 pulls. The temperatures were so good it went up by a total of like 8 degrees throughout the pool. And I load the shit out of my dyno. So if you guys notice my videos, it's all like pretty hardcore in terms of the length of the runs, because I like having that stronger, longer, more realistic pull, so you don't like end up going out on the street and tossing shit out the bottom of the block. I gotta wash my hands real quick. Keep the questions coming. Okay. So 750, 800 on an SS or 750, 800 on a ZL1? And can you do only 2650 swap, no other mods? Well, you can, but you're kind of wasting things because your factory fuel system is going to run out well sooner than the factory than that ZL1 or the 2650 can do. The cooling is wonderful, absolutely wonderful, but you're like not even close to the efficiency range of the blower. You'll end up making on a ZL1, you'll end up making 650 to 700 before you run out of fuel, and maybe less depending on your octane, and then you're kind of like just kind of boned. I'd say that most of the time, if you're just doing the 2650 factory exhaust and stuff, which we just did one, you're probably going to be in the high 500s. I think that's where you're going to end up being safely. The last thing you want to do is like try to press it for a number. If you use meth with that, you'll get a little bit further, but meth is dangerous in its own right, because the meth fails, so does everything else. Oscar, I do not work on V6 Camaros. So to get around the fueling limit with like the 2650 here, you pretty much need to be using a camshaft or meth injection. That's kind of like the deal. Michael, the pedal position, I usually enable it is somewhere around 40%, and as I go up in the RPM, I usually drop that down closer to 20%. I kind of make it mostly based off of pedal, but you know, it works with torque as well. You just have to, for some of the things, you have to really work with your PE modifier in order to get it so like you're in full throttle, but not PE, that it's not overloading it with timing. And so you got to do it with the enrichment, adder there. I have a little tricky stuff done on here. Cam headers, 2650 tune is the deal. Yes, that should take you to the limit of the factory bottom end. And on that setup, it's somewhere around the 850 mark. Basically, these cars have weird oil pressure things going on, where the oil pressure doesn't exactly rise normally with the RPMs. Not like your Gen 4 motors. The Gen 5 motors like this, and I'm talking about the generation of motor, not the car. The Gen 5 motors have like a dual vane oiling system that controls oil pressure in a kind of dynamic way. It keeps it low during the mid-range. It doesn't come up like 10 psi per RPM like you'd expect. In fact, a lot of times it like barely gets above like 50. Every once in a while at the top of a pull, like you'll see it spike up, and that's good. But what I believe is going to be one of the big failures that happens is when you're making too much power in that mid-range with lower oil pressure, and that power presses down on the crank so hard that the crank stops floating and starts chewing up the bearings. And we know that is a limitation. The factory tolerances are pretty tight, and it's just one of those things that just doesn't bode well when you really start pressing it. So, good question. Why isn't anyone supercharging the C8? Well, ProCharger's working on it, and ProCharger and Vortec are probably going to be the only superchargers you can really use on that. One, getting to the belts, major disaster. Now, say that you get to the belts, that's not, that doesn't mean that you can get the belt where you need it to be in order to spin a positive displacement blower like a Magnuson. So I think that's the biggest issue that we're running into in terms of just throwing a supercharger on, is you cannot get the belts above the cowl. You just can't get the belt where you need it in order to spin the blower. Now, a ProCharger will likely work because you'll be able to do some cool jack shaft stuff, and I think that you'll be able to make that work, but you'll definitely be using an air-to-water intercooler system, which ProCharger has done. On the C7, they have a nice air-to-water setup, and we use G1 Pro for a lot of stuff with the air-to-water manifolds, which are really cool. You saw it on my C7, and we're planning to do it on the wife's car, but kind of ditched that, and it'll probably make its way onto either my truck with the turbo kit that's going on my truck that we're building, or it'll make it onto the C8 with the turbo kit that we're building for that. So one or the other. My ZL1 versus White Hellion Coyote, who wins? To be determined. I'd like to think that this is going to win. He'll have to be on full boost, and I'm only going to be on a little bit of boost. Recommend changing out the factory oil pump, as I heard horror stories from others. Well, so the factory oil pump, there's no real replacement for these yet. I think K-Tech's working on it, but the dry sump cars does have an upgrade from K-Tech, but I don't believe the wet sump has it out yet. So that's kind of like, you're kind of stuck with the factory stuff, which sucks. I would like to see an upgrade for that. I have 3% battery left, just FYI, guys. Let's see. Where's Kristen? She's at home with the kids, hopefully not watching this and going, what the F is he still doing at the shop? Let's see. Which year SS is the best years? 10 to 16. Wait, what? SS. Overall performance and most reliable. Steve, are you talking... So, serious question. Are you talking about like the Chevy SS? Are you talking about a Camaro SS? Which SS are you talking about? Hopefully not an Impala SS. Let's see. How do you afford to build your own stuff? Well, this is what I do for a living, so I tend to get some decent deals, and everything's a write-off, which is awesome. That doesn't mean that it doesn't cost me anything. It just means that it's not income that has come in, because it's like this. It's on the channel, and it's basically all used for the shop. The only thing that I'm not like doing, like writing off, at least I haven't been, has been like the Denali, because the Denali has just been the family car, and yeah, it's. Oh no, Alex is messaging me things. I don't know what he's saying. The Denali's been the family car. Kind of is what it is. Like it's. I'm gonna look at this. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna look at this message if I can. I don't know if it's gonna take me out of this, and if it does, I'm gonna be right back. Okay. Let's see. Didn't know. Yeah, that does suck. When's the next live from home with Kristen? Why is everybody talking about Kristen? Did you guys see the last video? She was in the last video. Maybe we'll try to do a live thing this weekend. Do you guys want to do a live thing this weekend? Maybe we can all drink together. Drink with the wife. I'll charge my phone because we have 2% left. And yeah, if you guys really want to drink with me and the wife, I'll see if I can make it happen. Is that what you guys want? I'm going to move this forward while you guys decide. I'll be right back. Did you like that? Okay. I'm going to leave you guys on the charger. Doop, doop, doop. I'm going to put this up, get the wide bands out, and then get her off. Z01 at the track road racing, paddles, or keep it in auto. You have your preference. I like the paddles. I would do the paddles for road course racing, but at the track, and I would kind of stick with like the drag strip. I would stick with auto. Is there a race between the C8 and Nick's car with the interesting bet you made coming out soon? He's been a pussy. He hasn't come out yet. I mean, granted, we're still waiting for stuff for the Freedom Rocket, so I'm sure he wants to do it all at once. But I know that I'm going to shit on his hood. That's the bet for you guys that are wondering. The bet is that if I beat him by more than 3 car lengths from 40 to 100 miles per hour in my C8 versus his 69 Camaro, I will get to shit on his hood. I know he's ducking me from this because I think he realizes how bad it's going to be. There's going to be a giant deuce, giant CSP deuce. I will try to make it in a CSP for you guys. But, like, that's, yeah, he's silly. What a stupid bet. Let's see. Nick might as well pay Punk out. He should. Philip, you missed a lot of stuff. And it's almost over because I'm almost out of battery. I'm 2%. 850 dyno for the 2650. Yes, you missed basically that on lower boost. Instead of running the 20, 21, 22 pounds of boost, I was only running 15 and a half pounds of boost. So I could use pump gas. I could go up a little bit more. Just didn't press it yet. So 857 or 854, something like that, on 93 pump gas, no meth injection, with the 427. And I am going to bump it up pretty good. It was 900 some, so there's a lot more. But I also was instead of the 80 millimeter pulley that I have on it right now, I was running 70 plus meth. So there's a much bigger difference than just saying, you know, X. I need to give those a torque real quick, and then she can come down and I can get out of here. There's some wires in the way. What's up, Mike P? Is a Lingenfelter high pressure fuel pump worth the money? I don't think so. I think that if you're really looking for the high side solution that maintains a direct injection, doesn't add port, I think your best option is going to be the Extreme DI setup. It's the same thing that we use on Nick's twin turbo car. It's a secondary high side that is belt driven, and it I mean, effectively doubles the capacity of the high side, and then combined with injectors, you're ending up able to run an obscene amount of boost, an obscene amount of power out of it. We're at 1%, so I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to try to get this down. I got some in the way, and I don't want to get electrocuted. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to say our goodbyes. If you have any last-minute questions, definitely post them in, and I'll be right back to answer them, and then that's it. And then as far as what does my shirt say? Hopefully that's in the view. Wind is blowing. There must be weather coming through. Okay, so do you have any brake disc air ducts installed in the Trio 1? Whatever's factory. That's all I have. I haven't like modified those. What's my shirt say? We covered that. Hey, when the trans tune is done, are able to leave in second gear or something else also need to be done? Yes, you will be able to leave in second gear when we're done with your car with the trans tune. I can leave in second gear, and it's your best bet is first gear with a different tune to minimize the power. It seems like first gear is still a better opportunity with just minimizing power, and we can do that a couple different ways. I'd love to do a quick ride along, but I've got 1% battery life, so it's probably just gonna like the moment I take it off the charger here. Which is not a full charger. It's not like the rapid charger that I normally use. It's probably just going to die. When do you think business will be back to normal? Not sure. I mean, it depends. Like we're just going with the flow and trying to like manage our risk. That's the big thing. And let's see, is OC still happening? Ocean City, Maryland muscle car cruise is not happening. I'm not going down. I'm sure that a lot of people are thinking about it though, because Maryland just opened back up. So I think that they're still limited on what you can do, but I mean, so it may be worth going down or it may not. I don't know. I know that I'm not going because I don't want to go down to see like 5 cars. And let's see. I think that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope that I've updated you guys properly on what's going on, and we'll see you on the next video whenever the heck I make it. You'll probably have to look forward to some of the builds that are going on in the shop. Hopefully, I'll get some of those out. You'll get to see the C8 broke. You'll get to see why, what happened, what the fix was, and you'll also get to see some more of the ZL1. Ideally, we'll be getting that thing to the track soon and turning her up. Maybe we'll turn her up live. And maybe this weekend we'll do a home stream with the wife and drink together. So if you're not a subscriber, definitely hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Adios. How do I turn this thing off?